Hi there, it's Prof H again. It's good to see you. Now in the prior video, we talked about ETL, extract, transform, load at a pretty high level. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the extract phase. Let's think back to that retailer who wants to analyze the effects of online customer reviews and weather on sales trends. Before doing the analysis, this retailer needs to gather the data. Now in the case of our scenario, the retailer is going to be gathering sales from online sources from one internal system, but they're also going to be gathering sales from brick and mortar stores from a different internal system. But then they also have to get those online customer reviews, and then they also have to get the weather data from external sources. So this is the essence of the extract phase, gathering data from a whole bunch of different sources. This phase, the extract phase, is really important because the transform phase and then the load phase of ETL depend upon a proper and accurate extraction. So there are a couple different ways that we could extract the data. First, if the analyst doesn't have access to the data, or if they don't have a whole lot of technical knowledge, they could request the data from the IT department. Now, if they do that, the IT department is going to ask them a whole bunch of questions. So you're going to have to fill out one of those forms that you always love to fill out, that I love to fill out, forms for anything. Well, they're going to have to fill out a data request form. So the IT on that data request form is going to ask them some questions, such as, hey, what data do you need? What tables, fields, and records do you need? What's the business purpose of this data request? How often do you need the data? Do you need it quarterly, monthly, or yearly? What's the desired format? Do you want this in a spreadsheet, PDF, Word document, CSV file, text file? Who's the intended audience of the data? And then what tool do you anticipate using to analyze the data later on? Okay. Now, if the analyst, though, on the other hand, has access to the data, and they also have some good technical chops, right? Some of you guys do, I know you do. They can use SQL, or pronounced SQL, if you're a techie, structured query language, to extract the data themselves. And they would probably use SQL because a lot of this data is going to be stored in a relational database. So SQL is used to extract, update, delete, modify records in a relational database. Let's take a quick look at an example of SQL, something maybe that an analyst might write. So for example, if the analyst was trying to first extract the customers from a customer table, what they would do is they would say select customer name, and then customer contact name, and then customer phone from table customer, and then order by customer name. So this is a select statement. This would be used to retrieve records from a relational database, and this is part of structured query language, or SQL. Now there are a couple different types of extractions. The first one is the full extraction, and that pulls the entire data set, and this would be necessary the first time we extract the data. It also may be necessary for updating data if there's not a way for us to track which data has been changed since we initially extracted the data. So basically, we don't know which data has been updated, so we're just going to have to refresh all the data. Now, if we can track what data has changed, right, since the last time we extracted the data, then what we can do is do a partial extraction. And so maybe in the partial extraction, what we would do is just get the records that are new or that have changed from the initial extraction. But that supposes, again, that we can track that. So in conclusion, the extract phase retrieves data from a lot of different sources. Now, making sure this extraction is done correctly is really important because it forms the basis of the other phases of ETL, the transform phase, and then the load phase. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the transform phase in more detail, and I'm going to talk about how to clean and standardize this extracted data in that transform phase so it can be loaded into the database in the load phase. I'll see you soon.